you guys? This is Jade, and we are live at South by Southwest, day 2. Having a beautiful time. Again, the sun is shining, 0 clouds in the sky, greenness behind us. So no longer in Minnesota, definitely at South by Southwest. And we are super lucky today. We have been graced by Garland Jeffreys. How are you doing?
I'm totally depressed. Life is just miserable. Can't stand anybody I'm seeing here. I'm having a horrible time.
I can tell.
It's just sad.
It is. so much sunshine.
Oh, God.
People with their smiling faces.
I'm still sleeping. If you didn't know.
Well, I kind of want to give people a little bit of history here. You're from Brooklyn. You went to Syracuse, and you met Lou Reed. Yes, Lou Reed before Velvet Undergrounds. Can you share that story of how you guys first met each other?
Well, it was amazing. Who would think that we would be friends? We would become friends, and then be friends for our entire life.
Yeah.
Together, and I'm also friends with his wife, Laurie Anderson. Very close with her. We met in Syracuse. We met in the cafeteria of sounds like a very normal kind of thing.
Yeah, sounds like a sitcom.
And then we immediately graduated to the bar. Really, like right around the corner from the cafeteria. We try to keep a bar very close by.
Always. It's good for college campuses.
Exactly. And we would meet. You ever hear of Delmore Schwartz?
No.
Delmore Schwartz was a writer.
Okay.
He's not alive anymore. A poet and a writer, fantastic force. And he made a big impression on me and Lou. He was really Lou's mentor, and he showed Lou about a lot of things about poetry and about writing, and that was to stay with Lou for the rest of his life, because he revered Delmore. And Delmore had a big effect on me as well, because I was the third partner in that trio of an everyday party event at the bar.
Yeah.
And I learned how to drink after not knowing how to drink.
It's a
became
skill.
very good at it.
Learn, yeah.
And then one day I let that go. I found that that was a better thing for my future, my life.
Yeah.
And Lou had other plans along those lines. But Lou and I were pals. We really cared about each other. And I miss the guy. I still miss him. He's we were very, very tight. He would do anything for me, and same for him.
Is there any particular moment that when you're thinking about him, like a particular night or something that really sticks out in your mind as that's like the definitive moment for you?
Yeah, here's one very important moment. I was playing at the bitter end. I was getting ready to go on stage. And I was warming up in the background, getting things together and, trying to, figure out, the set list and all the stuff, like what are we going to do, what we're going to lead with, trying to, this is the early years, so learning how to know what a proper sequence is and the rhythm of the set, learning how to really be good at it, And Lou came backstage, and a couple of press guys came in the back, followed him in, and he gave them the finger. There's a you can find this photo somewhere. It's everywhere. And I'm sitting down, I think, or I'm standing next to him, and he's giving the guy the finger, and he was what he was doing was he was the press was there to see him, of course, following him, and instead he pushed them away, and so that we could have the time to work on this song that we were going to do together on stage, etc. And so we were really great friends, and like I say, I miss the guy, and Lori, his wife, we're friends. We see each other from time to time, and my wife Clara, three of us, we get together. I go to Lori's house. We just recently celebrated a birthday of Lou's, and that's always a very nice event.
How do you celebrate?
Well, some people are drinking some wine, and it's never anything hard, and it's very mellow, and Lori's great because she lets people come over her house for this, and they don't have to be like stars or anything like, just people that Lou knew and stuff, and it's very sweet.
Well, let's talk about your new album.
Yeah.
It's 14 Steps to Harlem, and I'm curious, what are those 14 steps to Harlem for you?
Yeah. When I grew up in Sheepshead Bay, and my father, was a very hard-working guy, and he didn't have a very good job, he didn't make very much money. And he had a couple of jobs out in Long Island and stuff. And his dream was to live in Long Island, but we never did move to Long Island. We stayed in Sheepshead Bay, and we didn't get along necessarily, he and I, in the early years. I felt, he was very old-fashioned, I felt, and I got, beat by him, beatings. I would call it child abuse, really,
Yeah.
And, but I survived it, and even though it, you might say I deserved it on some level, but I don't mean in the true sense of what that means. I mean that, like I didn't do something that Mom told me to do. I was supposed to go shopping. Instead, I spent the money. But I was a kid. This sort of stuff. And but so, that was a challenging time, those early years. And my father finally, my stepfather, he said, he basically said he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to handle it. He admitted that. Said he didn't know how to handle it. This is the best that this is the way he was brought up. That's not unusual when it happens like that. And that was that, And then, but in my heart, in my soul, I forgave him. Like a private. I even did a meditation on it. I even did, sat in a church. Sat in a church and thought about that.
Yeah.
And to make it come through me, like it's okay. It happened. He came from a different era. Came from a different time. And so that was very, very powerful, and I've learned, I'm a father today.
Yeah.
I would never hit my child, ever.
Yeah.
Reprimand, yes. Maybe even take away some privileges for about 5 minutes,
Until she looks up at you and smiles, and then.
I have like a fabulous kid.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. She's not perfect, like I am.
I feel that from.
You could tell that.
Yeah, I can tell.
So, this is the deal.
Yeah, it's kind of it sounds like a cathartic release for that 14 Steps to Harlem.
Yeah, 14 Steps to Harlem. So he would take the train to Harlem every day.
Yeah.
And he'd work in a small little factory that was, not much. And didn't get paid very much, but he made the best of it. And he saved all his money, and he provided, money for my education down the line. So he was a great dad. When it came to the important things, he was right there.
Yeah. Well, we are live at South by Southwest with Garland Jeffreys, and we're from Minnesota. And when you think of, you have such a storied history with so many musicians. We're sort of looking back at Prince, one of the sons of Minnesota, and the fact that he, felt the draw to actually live there and support the community. So we've been asking people, do you have any recollections? Do you have a Prince story? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I never met Prince. I was hoping, I like to play in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I play at the Dakota.
You're going to be at the Dakota June 16th at the Dakota Jazz Club.
Yeah, I'll be at the Dakota. I really like the club. And I remember when the club was not all tables like it is these days. It was much more devil may care, It's just sort of like an old age home kind of setup.
Yeah.
I like the kind where people would kiss somebody in the back side of near the bar.
Yeah, quiet corners.
I like that, that kind of atmosphere a little more. And but I'm willing to bend, and enjoy it any way, As I see some of the people there, and some of the people will show up that I know over the years, and that'll be a lot of fun. And I'll always play my heart out like I always do.
Yeah.
And try to, just play to the fans, give the fans what they paid for. I firmly believe that an artist can't shuck and jive when it comes to doing his job and he's performing, He's got to give the audience what they paid their money for,
Yeah.
And then what happens, they become the incredible what do you call it?
Beneficiary?
Beneficiary of the they get the goodies because they will in the end they become they have big fans for life like I do.
Yeah.
I have fans all over the world, in Asia, all over Europe, Holland, UK, Germany, France, you name it, and did I say Japan, all these places worldwide, and Australia, So I played in all these different places, and now with the new album, 14 Steps to Harlem, and it's I have to say it's a fucking great album. It's really, really great. We worked really hard on it, and it's really wonderful. Wonderful. I'm very proud of the record. For me, it's like the proof that you can still do something great with what you do, even though you've been around for a while.
Yeah.
You have to dig in.
Still have some stories to share.
You got stories to sing, and you got to dig in and come up with the goods, And if you can't find them, you got to lie. Lie and create new things.
That's what it goes back to being the storyteller. Well, Garland Jeffreys, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tim.
It's live from South by Southwest. You can follow us by going over to The Current and liking the page.